Hi, my name is Chris Tedesco, and I'm a proud United States Marine Corps veteran and inventor of the NeuroPack. The NeuroPack and the idea was originally conceived after I was approached by two members of the Joint Special Operations Command with a question. They asked me simply, can I figure out a better way or method to train our warfighters in the skills that they'll employ on the battlefield, whether it was drawing their weapon or reloading their magazine. And as a Marine, there were two things that came to my mind. Number one, our philosophy that I was conditioned with in the Marine Corps, train like you fight. If you're not training with the intensity and the environment, a high-speed environment that you're going to experience in the real world battle space, then you're not going to be ready for it, and lives could be lost. So that really opened up the next thing that popped in my mind was why it mattered so much. So it was a privilege to be approached by this, to answer this problem and find a solution for it. And it was also, to me, it's a sense of duty to figure out, because I understand why it matters to get it right. I understand why it matters to train hard, so when you get in theater, your guys are more resilient and their performance is up and they have more sustainability. So with those two things, I took my 20 years experience training athletes of all levels and thought about all the equipment that we've used over the years to try to have a user-defined experience to develop skill patterns rather than bigger muscles or faster legs. So after a pretty exhaustive search in the market, I didn't see any solutions out there that would provide our operators with a real tool that would really develop their skills and condition that muscle memory and resiliency. I looked to develop a tool that would help answer this problem and provide a real solution for our warfighters. Something really was nagging me in the back of my mind. In the fitness industry, there's so many gimmicks out there and so many false hopes and false promises. And I've seen them for years in the industry. And to me, as I said, I understand why this matters to get it right. And from day one, after we built the first iteration that's 28 and a half pounds in steel and Home Depot parts, I asked operators of all level, from Marines to SEALs to Air Force Pararescue, to come in and try the pack out and give me really honest feedback. And I told them, I said, you're not gonna hurt my feelings telling me that something's wrong, because it's too important to get it right. It matters too much to make sure that we get this right, and it helps you guys over in theater come back home. That's really been the driving mission for me, was to provide a solution that would give our warfighters an edge, more sustainability, more resiliency on the battlefield. And with that, we tried so many different, from getting in the water to clearing stairwells, clearing buildings, and all the operators came back to me with, wow, this thing is great, this is awesome. There's no restriction in my movement. It doesn't change how I shoot. It doesn't change how I draw my weapon. It just adds another layer of intensity that I just have to push through, which was great. And that's really the feedback that I wanted. But then I still needed it to be better and better. And currently, we went from 28 and a half pounds of steel and Home Depot parts to the current iteration that's 2.1 pounds in carbon fiber and titanium. So as we landed on our 19th iteration in carbon fiber and titanium, the weight was right, the feel of the mechanics of the device were right. It's providing a very consistent load, not to disrupt the nervous system. And we knew we had a great product. But for me, as I said in the beginning, why it matters is too important to me to give these guys something that I haven't validated. And because the last thing I'm gonna do is give them another gimmick, because I understand what that means and what that costs. So, for me, I asked everybody in the field, from operators, biomechanists, neurologists, orthopedic, physical therapists, you name it, I got it in front of them. And I asked them, please tell me what's wrong with this. Tell me if there's anywhere we can improve this. And I'm happy and surprised to report that We've only had good feedback on it. We've tested it with 3D motion capture countless times and come back with just amazing results of immediate effects to asymmetry and biomechanical dysfunction, reducing joint vulnerability, and immediately improving performance. So with all the studies and all the different eyes and hands and expertise we've had on this product, it really opened up the door to what are the other possibilities with it. And we know athletic performance, we can affect it. I've trained athletes for 20 years. But then we thought about rehabilitation, and we're working with patients with scoliosis. We're working with a lot of shoulder rehabs and knee injuries, and we're seeing a remarkable rate of therapy protocols where they're accelerating their recovery and return to work. So the next steps for this is really to push harder, to get more studies done, to find out what we can do. And the theory is neuromuscular disorders. We can work with stroke and cerebral palsy, MS, and possibly give them another tool to help their recovery and gain quality of life back. And for me, that matters too. And that's why I'm committed to keep charging, keep going. I'm a Marine, I don't stop. So thank you so much for taking the time to hear my story and to hear why it matters, and to also take your time for the rest of this proposal. And hopefully you'll see interest in it. And I'm looking for believers, not just investors, because this has got a long future and could help a lot of people. Thank you. Semper Fi.